Welcome, everyone. This is your guy, John, and you've just stepped back into the crime room. Pull up a chair, dim the lights. Tonight, we're heading to a town that thought it was perfect, to unravel a case that, on the surface, looked simply impossible. This isn't just a who, it's a howdunit. A real-life locked-room mystery that baffled police. This is the story of Eleanor Vance and the deadly secret of Willow Creek. Willow Creek. It's the kind of town you see in movies. The kind of place where the smell of fresh bread from the local bakery really does waft down the street. A place where everyone waves, everyone knows your name, and serious crime is something that only happens on television. And at the very heart of this town, for over 30 years, was Eleanor Vance. Eleanor was Willow Creek. She ran Vance's Tomes, the town's only bookstore. She wasn't just a shopkeeper, she was the town's living memory. She knew every family, every story. She was the person you went to for advice, for comfort, or just for a quiet place to read. She was, by all accounts, universally loved, which is why the morning of October 14th was such a profound shock. Sarah, the barista from the coffee shop next door, arrived to find the lights on inside Vance's Tomes. But the door was locked. Her 911 call was panicked. She told the dispatcher, "The front door is locked. From the inside. I can see her. Oh my God, I can see her through the window. It's Eleanor. She's at her desk. She's not moving. Please, hurry." When police forced entry, the scene was eerily still. There was no sign of a struggle. No robbery. The bookstore was immaculate. Stacks of books were perfectly aligned. The cash register was untouched. The front door had been secured with a heavy deadbolt, the kind you can only turn from the inside. The back door, which led to a small alley, was also bolted shut. Every window was latched. And there, at her desk, was Eleanor. She was slumped over, her head resting on her arms. An open book was in front of her. Next to her hand, a delicate teacup, half full. It looked, for all the world, like she had been reading, taken a sip of tea, and simply, "Basid, Hawaii." The responding officer noted in his report, apparent natural causes. A sudden heart attack, or stroke. A tragedy, yes, but not a crime. But this is the crime room, and you know it's never that simple. 2 days later, the autopsy report came back. The town's collective sigh of relief turned into a gasp of horror. Eleanor Vance hadn't had a heart attack. She had been poisoned. The substance was aconitine, more commonly known as wolfsbane. It's a terrifyingly potent, fast-acting poison. This wasn't an accident. This was a deliberate, calculated, execution. So, let's reset the board. We now have a murder, but we have a victim who was poisoned inside a room that was sealed locked and bolt-tied from the inside. The police were stumped. The town was terrified. How do you catch a killer who can apparently walk through walls? What do you think? Crime room. A hidden passage. A perfect suicide staged to look like murder. The theories were getting wild. The investigation was a masterclass in frustration. Detectives canvassed the town. Everyone said the same thing. Eleanor? Enemies? No. Impossible. Everyone loved her. Her finances were perfect. She had no secret lovers, no family feuds, no hidden debts. She was exactly who she appeared to be. The case went ice cold for 3 weeks. The Willow Creek Ghost Killer, as the local paper dubbed it, had the town in a panic. Lead detective Miles Corbin was haunted by the scene. The book on her desk was the complete Sherlock Holmes. Corbin would later say he felt like the victim was taunting him, leaving him a puzzle she knew he couldn't solve. He sat at her desk, trying to see what she saw, and that's when he noticed it. Tucked just under the large hardcover book was the corner of an eerie. Its battery was dead. Corbin took it back to the lab. When they powered it on, they didn't find a novel. They found a document she had opened just hours before her death. It was a digital journal. The entry was dated October 13th, the night before her death. It read, "Gideon came by again. He's become obsessed. He insists I must sell him the founding map. I told him again. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the town. My will gives it to the Historical Society." He got so angry. His face, I've never seen him like that. It truly scared me. He says he's coming back tomorrow morning to discuss it properly. I'll make us tea. Maybe I can calm him down. A suspect. Finally. But the name was another shock to the town. Gideon. They knew exactly who she meant. Gideon Halley, the mild-mannered. Gideon Halley. He was almost as beloved as Eleanor herself. The founding map was a local legend, a priceless, hand-drawn map of Willow Creek from 1790. Gideon, as the historian, believed he was its rightful guardian, not the Historical Society. He'd been publicly arguing with Eleanor about it for months, but no one thought it was more than a friendly academic squabble. Police executed a search warrant. Gideon was cooperative. At first, he called it all a terrible misunderstanding. Then they found the map, rolled up in a locked drawer in his study. And in his basement, among his collection of historical plants, they found his prized wolf's. In the interrogation room, his scholarly composure crumbled. He confessed. So, we have the who, and we have the why. But that still leaves the biggest question, the one that makes this a crime room classic. How did he do it? How did he lock that heavy deadbolt from the outside? The solution was both simple and diabolical. Gideon Halley, the historian, was also a hobbyist locksmith and clockmaker. He didn't need a key. He had built a simple, custom tool. After he had poisoned Eleanor's tea and waited for her to die, he let himself out the front door. He then slid a long, thin metal tool through the small gap under the door. Angled it up, hooked the small, knob-like handle of the deadbolt. And pulled. With a quiet click, the deadbolt slid into the locked position. He slipped his tool back out. The door was now locked from the inside. He had created the perfect locked room mystery. Or so he thought. He just never counted on Eleanor keeping a digital diary. Gideon Halley was convicted of first-degree murder and will spend the rest of his life in prison. The founding map now hangs in the Willow Creek Library, which has been officially renamed the Eleanor Vance Memorial Library. A chilling story. It just goes to show that the most savage motives can hide behind the most scholarly, friendly faces, and that even in the safest-seeming towns, you should probably still lock your doors. What part of this case shocked you the most? The poison? The motive? Or that incredibly simple locked room trick? Let me know your theories in the comments below. We read all of them. Thanks for joining me in the crime room tonight. We've got so many more cases to break down. If you want to make sure you don't miss one, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Until next time, stay vigilant.